Okay, so this is the door I'm going to be painting today. It's a half glazed door, often seen on the rear of properties. What I've already done is I've already put some paper on the floor to protect it, which I much prefer to dust sheets where you can touch them with your brush and get bits of fluff on them or bits of dust off the dust sheet. So I've got some paper down there. I've also, as you can see, I've already taken the handle off and I've put it safely in that paint kettle with all the screws so I don't lose any of those. And then I rub the door down, I give it a rub down with a fine abrasive with this 240 grade aluminium oxide paper. It's only a fine abrasive because I don't really want to leave lots of scratches on the door with a rougher one, because you often find that when you paint over it you can see all the lines where you've rubbed it down. So I rubbed it down with that, and then I dusted it all down with my dusting brush. The important thing to mention here is when you dust down the door, always dust off the top as well, get all the dust off of there. If not, when you're painting along here with the brush, you often pick up dirt and smear it all across the top rail there. And also, where I've taken the handle off, make sure you get all the dust out of there as well. As when you come over here, you pick up all the dust from around there. So it's all rubbed down, all ready for painting. So I'm going to get me paint, I better get started. Okay, so you need to use a good quality brush obviously when you paint one of these doors. I'm going to be using one of these pearly brushes, which are well thought of in the decorating trade, and it's a 1.5 inch brush I would recommend on this type of door. So there's my brush, all ready to go. And the paint I'm going to be using is an undercoat. And what I've done is I've tinted it a light blue so that you better see where I'm going with the paint. So when it comes to painting doors, the first part to paint will be the edge. So I have to open up the door because this is the edge you see when you look at the inside of the door. So I'm going to paint this edge first. So only put about 1 centimetre of paint on your brush and tap it on the inside of your kettle like that. It's only about that much paint, no more than that. Okay. Like this. And at the top, never come down like that because you'll get a whole load of paint and it'll run down over the edge and you get some runs coming down from the top of the door. So always brush upwards at the top of the door there like that. There we go. You can see when I'm putting the paint on, I've got the brush sideways like that. And when I lay it off, I turn it round so it's flat just to lay it off, like that. The reason for that is if I put it that way, all the paint's going to go flying around the edges of the door, and I'm trying to minimise that. Now the latch here, you can either take it off or very carefully, that I'm going to do, very carefully paint round this. The thing to do is to get some paint on there and then just gradually bring the brush down and give it a little wiggle to get to the top, then pull it up like that. Then the sides, have the brush quite flat like that when you come down. Just like that. Touch more paint. Same on this side, so keep your brush nice and flat. And that way hopefully we don't get any on that little latch there. There we go. That bit done. Same on the bottom, so give a little wiggle upwards like that. So it just touches there, then pull it down. There, so that's nice and clean, that's good. Working your way down. There. Pull my brush up again like that. Okay, so that's that edge done. The important thing now is, when you paint the edge of the door, what happens is, paint comes round onto the face of the door like that, which gives it a fat edge. So it's important that we wipe all that off so it doesn't give a fat edge on the front of the door. So just give it a kitchen towel or a piece of rag and then just wipe down like this, just to get rid of that ridge of paint down through there. Right in here. There we go, so that's the edge done, so I'm all ready now to start to paint the front of the door. Okay, so what I've done is I've put some numbers on the door which shows the order in which I'll be painting it. So the first part of the door to paint will be the panel, which is the number 1, so that's the first part to paint. Then moving up, the next part will be that top rail from there to there, that's the number 2. And then the middle rail from there to there for your number 3. And then the bottom rail across there for number 4. Then last of all you've got your 2 sides which are called the stiles. So I'm going to do that one for my number 5 and then finish off down through there with number 6. Okay, so here we go on number 1. So let's take the little number off. So just like before, only about 1 centimetre of paint when you paint this panel, etc. So the first thing I'm going to do is go along this top edge. I'm tilting the brush down a bit because I don't want to get paint smeared all across the front here, which will leave a ridge. Give a little wiggle to get in the corner. Just go all the way under there. And there, give a little wiggle, get in that corner, and pull it back, and go across like that just to smooth the paint out. And down here, same thing. As you see, I'm trying not to get any on the face there. Wiggle to get in there. And down here, same thing. Lean it over towards you. Like that. And last all across the bottom. Like that. There we go. Now I can paint the flat part in the centre of the panel. So put my paint there first of all at a slight angle. And lay it off by just getting the tips of the bristles under there and just pulling it down very gently with the tips of the brush. Just like that. Just the very tips of the brush. And the paint goes there at a slight angle, work into what I've already done. And when I lay this off, I come down from about here, about the height of my finger, which leaves a mark. And then make sure you come up slightly higher than that each time to get rid of the mark it leaves, like that. Okay, and just the bottom bit. And with the bottom, just pull it up into where you've already painted like that, just with the tips of the bristle. Exactly the same over here. Very tips of the brush. Bottom bit. Just this last bit over here now. Quite like this blue, by the way, it's quite nice. Okay, a little bit. Up. I'm always going higher, look. I go up, get rid of those marks. Just the last bit in the bottom there. Okay, so that's the panel done. Now if you have overrun it around the edge a bit, you can either get your brush and just smear it a bit like that so it doesn't leave a ridge, or just use a bit of kitchen towel, a bit of rag, and just go around the edge, just wipe off any that has come round there. So that's the panel done, so now I can get on with the rails now, get cracking on those. Okay, so that's number 2 done, the top rail there. If your cutting in skills aren't as good as you'd like them to be, then obviously you can just put some tape around the glass like this. So now I'm ready to do number 3, this middle rail. Okay, so if the camera wants to come around this side. Now what I'm going to be doing, when I paint along here, I'm going to take it about 2mm onto the glass so we get a seal between the glass and the timber to stop the wood getting wet down through there. So go across like this and push the brush that way a bit so it just touches the glass, and then pull it along in a straight line just like that, so you get about 2mm of paint on the glass like that. There we go. So once more, like that, push the brush that way slightly so it just touches the glass along a straight line. Come back this way. There we go, so it's just snicking the glass a little touch. Now that's good, as long as you get a nice straight line there, and that's great. So now I can do the front bit of number 3. And what I'm doing is I'm taking it slightly across here, a little bit, as you can see. When you lay off, only use the very tips of the brush, because if you press too hard you do get lines in it. So just vary the tips of the brush. And down here I'm just going to go slightly beyond that one as well, onto the upright, the style. That's it. That's good, so that's number 3 finished. Now I can do number 4 along the bottom here. When I'm doing this I change the grip of the brush, because I normally hold it like that. Because it's a bit awkward, I end up holding it like this, so it's easier to apply the paint on the bottom. You can see my bit of wood there, I've just wedged the door to stop it moving as I'm painting it, which is another important point. Obviously you could use a proper door wedge if you've got one at home. So I'm pulling the paint back that way. A nice finish across the front, like that. So that's the rails done. So now we've got the 2 sides, 5 and 6 to do. Okay, so I'm going to be doing number 5 now, the right hand style of the door. Take a little number off. So the first thing I'm going to do is obviously to cut in down through here, same as I've done on that middle rail. Get rid of some of the paint like that. And squeeze it like I've done before so it just touches the glass. And bring it down in a straight line. Tiny little wiggle there. Get that part. Into there first. Push down and squeeze it so it just touches the glass. Like that. There we go, so that's that cutting in done down through there. Simmer on the top, never brush downwards because the paint will pool on it and run over the top. There we go. So when I'm coming down this side, I go about 1 centimetre away from the edge and push it down so it just touches that outside edge and pull it down in a straight line like that. So hopefully you don't get any on the frame. There we go. Here, squeeze and push down. There we go. Just the bottom part to do now, down through here. Similar principle. Go close to it, squeeze and pull it down. Like that. Then down through this bit, try and get it as straight as you can when you come down with the brush, so you get a nice T section there. That's it. Like that. We're nearly there. The last little bit here. Hope my big head isn't getting in the way here. Then once again, make sure you get a nice straight line down here. There we go, so that's the right hand style done. So I just got to do the left hand, then we'll have a look at the finished door. So that's the door all finished now. Not bad glue actually, is it, that sort of powder? I don't mind that. So it normally would take you probably about 15 or 20 minutes to paint a door like that once you've done all the preparation work. So they're not too bad really to paint. They don't take too long to do. So I hope you found this video useful. And if you have, why not subscribe to my channel so you can stay up to date with all my latest videos.